I'm boiling cut up beef cubes. Basically, it's a top round for the beef stew. I'm parboiling the meat first to clean it. As you can see, what's happening here is fat and crud from the meat itself is rising to the top that I just skim off and let the meat parboil to really tenderize it before I put it into the beef stew. All right, now you see I got onions in, just sauteing them for a little bit, nice chunks. The reason I want chunks is I'm looking for a visual, and this is a beef stew. And then over here, I'll be adding garlic, celery, carrots. These are the baby carrots. And then I'll be adding my potatoes. For all that, I'll be adding the meat that is still parboiling. All right, we'll go from there. All right, now I've added some beef consomme, beef broth, and I had a packet of Lipton onion soup mix, so I went ahead and put that in there too. I'm gonna let that simmer for a little bit. So all the flavors gonna add a little bit of salt to it, a little bit of pepper. And I was gonna add the French onion soup, but I decided not to because that Lipton onion soup mix has a lot of seasonings in it, and I want to taste the broth and all that once this cooks down a little bit before I add my potatoes and then the meat to see if it needs any more seasoning. I also threw in some tomato paste, I think it was, cubes. What I did is I had cooked earlier, like maybe a month or so ago, and I had some tomato paste left over. So I put it in some little ice trays and I froze it, and I popped it out and put it in a Ziploc bag so I could have almost like a tomato bouillon. If I needed to add it to some kind of a dish, I just pop out from the cubes, or actually from the bag, and throw it in my my ingredients instead of opening up cans and wasting the product. I also did the same thing with some chicken base I had a while back. I used what I needed, and then the rest I poured into the little cube trays, ice cube trays, and I froze it, and then I popped it out and put it in a Ziploc bag so I could have basically chicken base as needed. Just pop out whatever I want from the cubes and just throw it in my ingredients instead of again throwing away chicken base or chicken stock that I really didn't need. I just tasted my my stock, and it's really good. No more flavorings. And as you can see, the meat is still parboiling. I'll be transferring that soon into the stock pot, and we'll just let it simmer for a while until the potatoes and the carrots and the celery are done basically, and then we'll go from there. Okay, the carrots are done, the celery is pretty much done, the potatoes are almost done, and the meat is just cooking now to absorb flavor and get a little bit more tender. Pretty basic. Well, I was going to wilt some spinach with olive oil and put lemon juice on it and sprinkle some feta. But I think I'm going to do something different here. I'm going to add it to my beef stew. And we'll see how that turns out. All right, let's see what we've got here. See that glass of wine? Originally, I was going to put the wine in with the meat while it was parboiling to help tenderize it and maybe give it some flavor. But the problem was I drank it all before, so there was nothing left. Number two, now I was parboiling that meat. I could have added either beef broth or soy sauce maybe, or some Worcestershire sauce while it was parboiling, so it would absorb the flavors and give it more flavor. Right now, the meat is basically bland, but the broth and everything else around it is really, really tasty. It smells great in here. One thing is missing, and we'll top it off here in a second. And adding a little bit of feta, and that's it. I'm Thanasi, Theo Tommy to the extended family, and this is my masterclass.